Role playing in video games, a lot of people, when they say role playing video games, they're thinking about the role play genre, as in like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and other games with a role play aspect. However, when it comes to role playing inside of video games, two games come to mind when talking about role play, and that is VRChat and Grand Theft Auto 5 5M. Today we're going to be taking a look at why they both have a good role playing scene and how it works in the aspect of gaming, and why a lot of people prefer to watch role play than the normal game. So let's take a look at some data. And today's data is brought to you by VG Insights. So we have VR chat up here. So you know about VG Insights if you watch my regular podcast about indie games. So 20,026 players are playing as of 31 minutes of this recording, with 24,665 players being the active peak at 24 hours, 72.3% of positive ratings, with 4.3 million units sold at 472.4 hours of average playtime. Now you might be wondering, isn't it VRChat is free? Yes, it is, but because they do have a microtransaction system with the VRChat Plus, they do have to put that in the money aspect. So 4.3 million units sold as well. Now let's take a look at Grand Theft Auto 5, the regular GTA 5. If we take a look at GTA 5 normal, 128,000 active players as of 1 hour ago, and 128,000 active players 24-hour peak. Okay, so that's very good. At 85.9% positive reviews, with $673.6 million earned. Their average hours is 378.7 hours of average play time. So, with that said, Grand Theft Auto 5 and VRChat have very good role-playing scenes in terms of that. But to understand the role-playing scene a little bit, we need to take a look first at Grand Theft Auto 5, but not in the aspect of the regular game. We have to look at this in the aspect of an application called 5M. 5M is this application that allows a modification scene for Grand Theft Auto 5 without being banned. For example, this is a standalone application that looks at your Grand Theft Auto 5 installation, but it doesn't actually modify it. It adds to it, basically. And you don't get banned for it because it's a standalone application. Now, don't actually mod the real GTA 5. That's going to be bannable. Okay? So what exactly is 5M if you're new to 5M? Basically, modifications. You can make custom car, maps, weapons, and even more dynamic options. For example, if you like the gas station, in normal Grand Theft Auto 5, you don't use the gas station because it's useless there. But in the 5M, you can actually do gas stations, and you can actually use them to, well, fill up your car. So let's take a look at an example. The recent stream I did for 5M, we did something called Evergreen. As you can see here, I bought a few jerry cans. So jerry cans are where you can fill up the car with a jerry can, and they're $100 in game each on True Projects 2.0. And as you can see, I'm going through my inventory, and I am using a jerry can, assuming that I can get one. There we go. So I'm filling my car. As you can see here, you can see on the right side the vehicle is how much gas I have in that car, which is 79.3%. I do apologize about the video. When I do play 5M, for some reason it likes to lag a lot. However, you can see the main point of this jerry can thing. So as you can see, I'm filling up my car, and I believe I need another one. No, I don't. And I unlock my car, and I go ahead and go on this road trip. Another thing that happened during this stream, and I did have a guest for this one. I had a guest, Lone Casey was our guest for this one, and what happened here is really funny. So I get confronted with these cops here on this particular scene here, but I have no idea what they're saying. Either they're players or they are NPCs. I will tell you that there at that time there were 14 players. Maybe these two were some of them. I actually role played a little bit. You can't hear me because I turned it down. I say, hello officers, how can I help you? What did I do? But I didn't get a response, so I'm thinking they are NPCs. However, you never know. In a real server, this was the developmental test server, by the way. You will actually have to you will actually have to role play this scenario. Okay? I unlock my vehicle and all that good stuff. So we go on this road trip all around Los Santos. And then we go on to a different server because it was getting we were trying to test out some servers. And this is just a little bit of what you can do with the game with the 5M. So that wasn't good enough. You can even do cops and robbers game. There's actually a dedicated server for cops and robbers. Okay? So a lot of people play 5M. In fact, one of my streamer buddies, Mr. Work, actually does 5M. If we take a look at his recent stream, at his recent content, this is 5M, by the way, guys. Now, you might be wondering, wait a second, me and him play GTA 5M. What's so different that he has way more of an audience? That's because he's been doing 5M for a while. He's been doing it for like 2 years. So if we can see this, he goes through a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, this car, they have a car shop or something like that. And then they go to this area here, car wash. Then they get gas too. Look at this. This is inventory stuff. This is inventory stuff. And they are role playing this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to remember that. They are role playing this stuff out. Everything. Oh, right here too. Right here too. I just saw something right here. So now they are trying to do some stuff here. You see that trunk? That's not normal. They're role playing this stuff. They do weapon wars and all that good stuff in this. Look at that. That's not normal. You cannot do this in the normal game. And then they have a 24-hour parking garage. Oh, by the way, Mr. Work was live for this particular stream for 4 hours. And then I think he did another section. Another stream for the night shift. Yeah, this is his stuff now. So that's GTA 5M in terms of the content. But what about VRChat? What does the VRChat scene look like? Well, it's your normal fare of content. It's a normal fare of roleplay. You have on my channel specifically, for example, you have the Wolf Interesting. You have this style of roleplay where you have character interaction. So this is Francis meets Kyle in Apato's VRChat. Kyle as in Kyle the Wolf as in Lone KC. Now I added the captions here. So this is character to character interaction, just like in Grand Theft Auto 5. The only difference, obviously, is that in VRChat you're dealing with fantastic elements, also known as fantasy elements, I should say. Rather in GTA 5 you're dealing with real life scenarios in a way. You're dealing with, although simulated in a video game, you're dealing with real life scenarios. For example, you have the gas station, you have people filling up gas for their car, and then you also have EMS, emergency medical services. You have those people who do that. You have a paramedic in VR in Grand Theft Auto 5M. They will actually act like a paramedic. They will look at your injuries in 5M. They will take you to the hospital in the game, and you will be charged $500 for the medical bills. Like, seriously, they put a lot of effort into the realistic aspect. For VRChat, it's up to you. Because VRChat is create, play, and share. That's the model. So here, with this, we have character-to-character interaction. So here you can see me and Kyle interacting because this is my first meeting with Kyle the Wolf. Technically speaking, we have met already in terms of VRChat content, obviously. But in terms of like a roleplay, we have not. Okay? So that's how we do the VRChat. And remember, certain aspects of VRChat go a long way. You can actually do games in here too. But how many people actually do the roleplay in VRChat? There's a few. There's actually a few that I know. Obviously, to very Seder Peace, Shadow the Hedgehog, Silver. We have Speedy Blue. Those are the main four that I know that do roleplay on a constant, not everyday basis, but most of their content on their channels on YouTube is roleplay. So, for example, Seder Peace, for example, has a bunch of roleplay because this is her content too. My content is more on the variety aspect, but it's starting to be to the point where we're gonna go VRChat very soon, especially with Emerald Peace coming. But as you can see, a lot of VRChat here. Okay, and this is also considered a form of roleplay. Okay. Now keep in mind, because you're dealing with a different set of circumstances when it comes to the roleplay. When it comes to roleplay in VRChat, it's more on fantastic elements, or should I say fantasy elements, so like powers, Sonic characters in this case. But with Grand Theft Auto 5, you're dealing with a simulated IRL event, like paramedics. You have police vehicles. You have cops. You have robbers. You have jobs. You have bank. You have food. All that simulate real life in a video game roleplay. Okay, so that's why both these games have like a roleplay type of scene where players can interact, create stories, create some events, and create your own path. That song in Sonic, Follow Your Own Rainbow, that's what you're really doing for both. VRChat, and Grand Theft Auto 5 5M. Now, what about our story? What's the story of the story here? Sailor Peace, the character Sailor Peace, has her own path, her own story. Shadina has her own story created by Sailor Peace. Look at Grand Theft Auto 5 5M. We're trying to make our own character, Francisco Santiago. He's gonna have his own story. He's gonna have his own path. Just like Francis the Hedgehog is gonna have his own story once he gets into VRChat. So there's a plenty of crossover event elements that we can carry over to GTA 5 and VRChat. The question is, can you follow your own rainbow and can you carve your own path for your characters and your roleplay? Remember, in roleplay, the story that you're going to tell your audience or the audiences, it's going to be based on, can you make one in your mind? Can you make one on paper? And then can you emulate that in your roleplay? Roleplaying as a whole is this aspect of creating your own path, creating your own stories, creating your own content. VRChat and Grand Theft Auto 5 and several other games have allowing you to create your own stories, making your own path, and interacting with your friends. While Grand Theft Auto 5 has way more players, VRChat is still a good way to start with your roleplay journey because it's more tame. So now I'm gonna give you guys a final verdict. Where should you start your roleplaying in terms of like content? If you're thinking of roleplay content, and if you're brand new, you have no idea what to do yet. You have zero idea. If you're looking for something tame, something a little bit on the easier side, and you're looking for something where it's not as serious, go with VRChat. VRChat has a lot of people, but they are friendly. Most of the time, they are very friendly to you, and they will be happy to give you roleplay. You just have to make your own character, and that's it. Or somebody can make it for you in Blender. Now, keep in mind that there will be some bad apples, but don't expect too many bad apples in VRChat because they police it very well. However, if you're looking for something more IRL realistic, or you're looking for something more mature, or something more challenging, Grand Theft Auto 5 5M is your bet to go to because of the IRL realistic nature of Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay. Just keep in mind that you will be seeing a lot more bad apples because these bad apples are going to play seriously. They will be serious about their roleplay. They do not break character. They usually do not break character at all, and you're not supposed to break character at all in a Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay, so that's why it's challenging. Can you play as the role of your character without breaking character? That's what you have to think about when it comes to role playing on GTA 5 5M. If you break character in VRChat, they don't care. They just want to have fun. But in Grand Theft Auto 5 5M, if you break character, you could get banned. It is possible you can get banned for breaking your character, for breaking character even one time. So be very careful which one you choose to start with. I would say choose to start with VRChat, and then if you go try out Grand Theft Auto 5 5M, try to find a server that's beginner friendly, and there are not many, unfortunately. But keep looking. There are like 30,000 servers active one day, every day almost. Okay, that's gonna do it for this special episode. If you guys learned something, make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe below. We'll be back with another one. I cannot wait for more. we'll see if we're going to start our own adventure of GTA 5 5M with Francisco Santiago. We'll see. Enjoy, and we'll see you guys later tonight.